Philadelphia OIC, I want to let you know I have this energy all the time. I love what I do. I love bringing people in, telling people about what Philadelphia OIC has to offer. Because guess what? If I'm not here telling you about it, you won't know, right? So one of the things we want to let you know is that
Excuse
we've
me.
been around for so long. We've been around for 56 years. Only way you're going to be around for 56 years is if you're doing good things, right? And we have had some wonderful programs back in the day. That's when they was doing the typing and they were doing like manufacturing type of work and all of that good stuff. And now today, we even got some even better
Excuse me.
programs
Can
because
she speak
everything has
slowly?
changed. Somebody have a question?
Yeah, can she speak like slowly because she speaks so fast? So now I
You know,
listen.
you are absolutely correct. This is my elevator pitch. So I'll
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So again, so we do have some really great classes going on. And so what I'm going to tell you about is classes that are getting ready to take, we're taking applications now. One of the things about all of these classes is they're absolutely free. So you do not have to worry about whether you have to take out tuition for anything, whether you have to worry about grants or anything. These classes are free. And all of the classes that I'm going to tell you about come with job placement assistance, okay? So you have got to sign up, become a great student. And once you become a great student, then that's when you get that job placement assistance help, okay? So the first class I'm going to tell you about is our culinary arts class. Our culinary arts class, if you are a person that like food service, if you're a person that like cooking, if you want to get in the kitchen, get your hands dirty, learn about the beginning of prepping food, seasonings, how to cut and all of that good stuff, all the way to the end, which is expediting. That means getting the food out, right? If you are a person that want to work in the hotel and you want to do beverages, food and beverages, those are the type of jobs we help people get in the restaurant business. You know what I mean? I want you to understand that even though we have a pandemic going on, people are hiring, okay? Because we're on an uptick. Jobs are coming back. People are ready to get back to work. Unfortunately, unemployment payments are being dispersed, but the money is not really paying everybody bills. So people are ready to get back to work. So what I want you to understand is people are hiring, okay? And so culinary arts is a really, really great field to get into if you want to get into something that is going to be on the uptick. Because guess what? People still eating, right? Aren't you out eating? That's right. So people are still hiring there, right? And so that runs for 12 weeks. Okay. So
Irene, let me ask you something real quick. Do they have to, as a requirement, do they have to have some sort of previous experience if they wanna be part of this program, or no experience necessary?
that's why they come into these classes, because we want to help you get, like, let's say somebody was a contractor and they just wanted to change their field. That's what we're here for. Some people got tired of the old field they were in. Let me tell you, we had people that was actually lawyers come and join our program, not because the job wasn't available to them. They just wanted to change their jobs. Listen, being a lawyer is hectic. So what they did was they finished that. They started doing some other things in their lives. And then they said, you know what, I'm gonna go to Philadelphia OIC and see what they have to offer, because we have such great classes. So we had some really prominent people come here and do Philadelphia OIC because they just want to try something different. They've never done it before. We helped them get their feet on that ground into that field, and they were ready to go. Let me tell you, we had a lady that was a stenographer or whatever, the people that sit in the courtrooms and they do the typing, right?
Oh, okay.
She was stressed out. She left that job and she was home. She contacted Philadelphia OIC and she missed us. I didn't talk to her. She didn't talk to me. I seen that I had missed her call, and I'm not gonna lie to her. Got back to her 3 days later, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't think you guys was even open. Y'all wasn't contacting nobody." I said, "Well, are you still interested?" Long story short, she ended up going into the restaurant business in the hotel. Loved it. She is still there, still climbing the ladder, and we still tell her to come out and please talk to our clients. I'm sorry, our students, because we want people to understand that even though you've never done this before, there is room for opportunities for you to grow as long as you do what you need to do. Stick in there, stay in there. She's been in there now for 4 years now, and she finished.
Wow, that's amazing. So for how long is this training program, Irene?
So the training program, all of them is different. So the culinary arts run for 12 weeks. Now, it used to run for 16, but because of COVID, we had to downsize a lot of the classes, including with how many people we put in the classes. So the culinary class is only taking 8 people. So if you're interested, I mean, you want to definitely jump on it now. Even
In person? Are they in person?
we're going to have people coming in, but we're definitely doing maybe 2 people at a time. Okay, so that means, and trust me, you're far apart because it's a big classroom. So you got to come in, you're going to do your testing, you know what I mean? You're going to fill out some paperwork. And then the next step after that would be they would get interviewed by the chef, but that will be later down the line as the class get ready to start. The classes start because it's already been going on. The next class starts May. I believe it's going to be like May 10th for the
Oh, wow. So this is really good time for those who might be interested.
Yep, so they got some time.
What are the type of skills that I will learn if I get enrolled or admitted in this program?
So let me tell you about all the classes, and I can tell you each one. So with the culinary class, of course, you're going to learn your culinary skills, right? Anything dealing with food, anything dealing with food service, right? So you can go into the hospital and be in dietary. You can be in a hotel in the food and beverage area. You can be at a casino doing the food. Like any place that have a food area, you can definitely get work there. Okay. The next one would be our introduction to hospitality. Introduction to hospitality is where you learn about front office. You learn about management. You learn about housekeeping. You learn about the ins and outs of management in the back office. You know what I mean? Because they want you to be cross-trained in the hospitality field. And pretty much that's what Intro to Hospitality do. We're cross-trained.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's great. And we actually have a mock set up here, right? So when the people come in, I can show it to them. We have a mock front desk set up, just like as if you were working at a hotel or if you were working at, let's say, a lawyer's office or something like that. You would come in, you would experience that. If you wanted to do housekeeping, so you wanted to do the cleaning end of it, we got a room set up in the back that is set up just like a hotel room. You tear them beds up and we teach you how to do the beds. So let's say you don't want to do hotel. You might want to work in a hospital doing hospitality, right? Did that mean you'll still know how to do those beds and everything? You know what I mean? Okay. My daughter just got hired at Lincoln Hospital. Actually, it's been about 4 months now. Got hired at Lincoln Hospital. My daughter went here about 2 years ago and she was already working, and she was working in the hotels. She applied at Lincoln and doing hospitality there at $17.50 to start off. You know what I mean? So you really can just go all over with the hospitality piece.
Oh, that's a good wage.
Yeah, and a lot of people like the housekeeping piece of it because you don't have nobody on your back. You know what I mean? You're in the rooms, you're cleaning. You know what I mean? You're doing your own thing. Or if you're working in a hospital, you know, everybody got hospitality. If you look around, everybody got a front desk, lawyer offices, doctor offices. You can go everywhere with this training, right? You don't have to just be in the hospitality field.
In the hospitality industry. So it's kind of versatile, this type of training, right?
That's right. Customer service, how to answer phones, how to talk to people, how to problem solve. You know what I'm saying? So yes, absolutely. You'll learn quite a few things in the Intro to Hospitality. That's only 6 weeks, and that is 100% virtual. Okay. So
oh wow, 100% virtual.
100% virtual. You'll still come in, fill out your paperwork and everything, but you come in, you know, just for the paperwork part of it. Everything else will be in the comfort of your own home. Okay. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on your tablet. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your laptop. Okay. And it runs 4 hours a day. So
4 hours.
You actually are on camera. I believe it's 2 hours a day on camera. The other 2, you are required to do your work and be able to turn it in. Okay.
Do you know if it's like morning, afternoon, evenings?
It is mornings. So I believe the classes for the Intro to Hospitality will start at 9. Okay. And then of course it goes out for the 4 hours. So you would definitely be in the class getting right out. So if you have kids that's in school, you know what I mean, you'll still be able to help them, you know what I mean, and while you're doing stuff for yourself, because we understand that you guys are home. Some people are home with their children. So we do respect that as well. Okay.
Yeah. Or if they're working, so like they, so they could also arrange like their work.
And we don't want them to not have to work.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep. We want people to be able to still work and then still do these classes. We don't want to monopolize people's times, right? And so that's the Intro to Hospitality. Then we got our, we got Bankworks. Bankworks is wonderful. Bankworks is a class that's set up for people that want to become a bank teller, want to work in the financial field. That class runs for 6 weeks as well. It used to run for 8 weeks, but we've shortened the classes, you know what I mean? But you get the same training that you would get in 8 weeks in 6 weeks. So that means if you are a person that want to get the really good training, that means you got to show up every day. You are in this building Monday through Wednesday. Okay. The other
Monday through, okay. So it's 3 days a week, the Bankworks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 3 days a week. And with all of these, you are still getting life skills. You are still getting the job training piece of it. You're still doing the mock interviews and stuff like that. We're setting you up to go out here and interview with people. Okay. And so those other days, that's Thursdays and Fridays, you know what I mean, that you're doing those things. And those are via Zoom. Okay. So you'll be online doing those things. But for the class piece of it, you'll actually be sitting in the class talking to people. face to face, but you are socially distanced because that class as well take only 10 people. Normally it takes 25. Okay. So
Okay.
have a big area for that. So that's Bankworks. If you like the banking field, if you like dealing with money, but the only thing with Bankworks, you have to have had a year's worth of cash handling experience. So you have
Okay.
yeah, if you ever get money out of a machine and it's kind of sticking together, you don't even realize it's sticking together. They want you to be able to realize, that texture of money, money sticking together. They don't want you to over give nobody money. So they want you to have dealt with money in some type of capacity for at least a year. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Let's say
So
you work
for
at
the
McDonald's.
hospitality one, they no previous experience required, and for the culinary one either. But for this one, at least 1 year of cash handling.
Yes, you have to have, like, let's say you worked at McDonald's. Let's say you worked at Kohl's, where, if you were a cashier at any time, that right there would count as you being a cash handler.
Okay, just to go back a little bit, I don't know if you mentioned it. So for the culinary training program, that one runs also 6 weeks, just like the bank program, right?
So culinary runs 12 weeks.
Oh, 12.
Right. Intro to hospitality runs 6 weeks, and Bankworks runs 6 weeks.
6 weeks. And for the hospitality one, how many classes per week?
So you're doing 5 days a week. You're going to do 3 online with your teacher, and then the other 2 is dedicated to life skills, resume development, and mock interviews.
Okay. Thank you so much for
that. No problem. So somebody said, what is the requirements here? So I want you to hold on to your question. I will answer that as soon as I finish these other 2 classes. So the other 2 classes that we have is Smart Energy. Smart Energy is our solar paneling installation classes. So if you are a person that don't mind working in the elements, that means you'll be outside, you'll be actually putting solar panels.
If you're an outdoor person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't do it, but hey, we do have women that have joined the class, okay? But if you're a person,
that's great.
You have to be able to get on a ladder. You have to be able to at least carry 50 pounds, okay? Because one of the things is you're putting these solar panels on stoplights, you're putting them on poles, you're putting them on top of houses, you're putting them on top of commercial buildings. So yeah, you can't be scared of heights. So if you are a person that's scared of heights, solar paneling installation is not for you.
It's not for you.
It's a great job though.
If you're not an outdoor type of person, so it's not for you either. If you prefer to be seated,
if you're not outdoorsy, outdoorsy, listen, the cold elements, you're gonna be out there. So you just gotta think about that,
Yeah, that's true.
That right there runs 6 weeks as well, okay? And that's hybrid as well. So you'll do some days in, I believe it's 3 days in. I apologize. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Excuse me 1 second. This is my boss.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm doing a Zoom meeting right now.
Yeah, that's good. You guys can use the chat in case you have questions for her. So while she's talking, she can read the questions and she can answer the questions. You're muted. Irene, you're muted.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So we talked about the solar paneling installation classes, and the last class is drone classes. Okay, so the drone classes is you will be actually learning how to fly drones. Now, people always say, "Is there
a big thing now?"
It is very big. Listen, we didn't even realize how big it is. They no longer are using helicopters to do a lot of aerial views.
No, they don't. Everything is a drone now. It's insane. I know.
Yes. And so there's a site, I believe it's on Craigslist, but I'm quite sure it's outside of Craigslist as well. But there's a site that they are always looking for contractors to fly drones. We don't have enough people in Philadelphia flying drones because we get people that come here doing videos. We have people coming here. They need aerial views for like houses, land stuff. They need people to fly drones. And we don't have enough people here. So that's one of the reasons why Philadelphia OIC even brought this program here. And so what happens is this is just the beginning start of it, right? This is the very lower level of it. So you will learn how to fly a drone that maybe spans about 14 to 16 feet, right? But they really need people that can fly them really big drones, those drones that are like, 2-footers, 6-footers or whatever, because they need people to see what's going on the ground. They need people to see what's going on with the weather, stuff like that. So this is not about hobby. Now, if you want to do it for a hobby, that's fine. You know what I mean? Because if you just want to learn how to fly a drone, that's cool as well. But there are actual jobs out here for people who are getting their drone pilot's license. So what you do is you'll 6 weeks, and you'll do it for the 6 weeks. Make sure that you learn at least the basics of it, and then you'll do your testing. You'll sit before the FAA and do the certification 107 Part A, something like that, whatever the certification is called. And as long as you pass that, then you become a drone pilot. Period. You have your license, right?
So you have to have a license. So you guys help.
No, you don't have to have a license. You will get your license. No, that's how you get your license. So after you fly the drones and you pass the test, then that's when they give you, the FAA give you your first certification, which is your drones pilot license.
Okay.
And then if you want to do something like do the bigger ones, then they have more schools where you have to do more schooling, but we get you started. Because some people get in here and they're like, I like it, it's okay, but it's not something I would want to do. So they didn't waste no money because it's free.
And this training help, like the content that covers this training helps them to prepare to take this exam.
Yes. Yep. It's preparations. And listen, again, there are so many classes out here that you can take for drone pilot, because the license that we get you is your beginning license, right? But there are some that go beyond what we do. You know what I mean? And so that's when you're going to start, making the bigger the drone you can fly, the more you make. Okay.
Yeah, and for different purposes.
Absolutely. Fires, yes, aerial views for fires and bad weather, traffic jams, stuff like that.
Yeah. The ones I guess people use in the entertainment industry. I know they use
there you go.
Like
that's right.
for movies and stuff, right? So do they have to have like a previous experience?
Nope.
Some type of background?
Nope. You don't have to have no background. That's what they want you to come in and they want you to learn. You know what I mean? Because they know that if you get a knack for it, you're going to take this thing even farther. You know what I mean? So we just want to get your foot wet in the door, especially with the drones. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, not a lot of people have flown drones, except for like little toy drones or something like that. So when you come in, if you are not good at it, you're not going to pass. You know what I mean? And we talking about these drones are not that big. Like I said, they're only span about 12 to 14 feet. So that's not a big drone. And you're flying it, testing down a really narrow hallway. You are outside doing it quite a bit as well, but they want to make sure that you can just take it straight down a hallway. You know what I mean? So you're going to do a lot of indoor flights as well as outside flights as well.
Now, do I have to buy a drone in order for me to be part of this training program?
Nope, we provide them. Yep.
Oh, great. Yep. But do I get to keep it?
I can't tell you that. That's a secret. I would have to kill you.
That's good.
We're not supposed to tell people, but yes, don't tell nobody I told you. But yeah.
Okay. We promise
it will be yours. Don't tell nobody.
We would.
All right, I see Tatiana, Biggie, Didier, Samaya, Nelly. Y'all better not tell nobody I told you.
Yeah, exactly.
But so with all of those classes, you have to have your high school diploma or GED for all those classes. Now, let's say you be like, you know what, I'm interested in them, but I don't have that. We do have GED classes here as well. So if that's something that you are interested in getting because you don't have it, let me tell you something. Even if you're not going to be a part of OIC, you need to at least have your GED, okay?
Okay.
Jobs are requiring it, because we used to did not take high school diplomas and GEDs. But when we started getting better jobs for people, the employer started saying, listen, we need people with at least their high school diploma or GED. So that's why we got the GED program set up. And then we also do have a high school here called Workforce Academy High School. And that is for young adults that's 16 to 21. Let's say somebody was in a regular school, they didn't finish, but they want to go into something a little smaller. Workforce Academy, we have it here. Also in our Workforce Academy High School, we also have job skill training here as well. So I believe they have cosmetology. They have the medical field in the high school. They have a culinary in the high school. So these are some things that you can get started now. So that way, even if you didn't want to do OIC, the job training piece of it after you got out of the high school, then you can go right into a trade because you've already had the training in the Workforce Academy High School. So that's
but you need to be 16 to 21, right?
16 to 21.
To go into that one.
Yes. Yep. And but for the GED, you can be whatever age, like, you know what I mean? So there's no age limit for the GED. But
For
if
the GED. So just to go back, so regardless of what is the type of training they might be interested in, they must have a GED or high school diploma.
yes, yes.
They
Because
have
our
to.
job is once they finish with their training, we need to help them find employment. Okay.
Okay.
We don't want any barriers. So a lot of people have asked me, well, can I do the GED and do the job training at the same time? You cannot, because OIC wants you to focus on whatever studies you're doing at that time.
Okay. I understand. So what is do you know, like, how long does it take for a person who get enrolled in a GED preparation class? How long does it take between getting ready, go
Sure.
through this preparation class, and then take the exam and pass it?
It's up to the person. The thing about Philadelphia OIC, we do go at the person's pace. Now we're pushing you as well, because some people would just take forever just because. But of course, our instructor, because that's his job, is to push you to get you done, but not push you to the point where you're not understanding something. If you are on a slower pace, then he's going to work with you at that pace. Everybody that comes in, it's not a class that's set up where as though everybody coming on the same level, and he understands. So whatever level you on, that's the level that he's going to work for with you. And
so is this a group class or individual? Like,
say it again.
Is a group
yes,
class?
It is a group. Yes, and
it's
so
a group.
take a limited amount as well. Yes, but it is a group class, and it's ongoing, always ongoing.
Oh, okay. Yep. So if they are interested in getting enrolled in the GED preparation classes, they can.
They can. Absolutely.
Are they virtual or in person or hybrid, Irene?
Both. They're hybrid.
Oh, hybrid. Okay. Yep. Okay. Is there any requirement if they want to get enrolled in the GED preparation classes?
Just come in. Well, they ain't got to come in, but they can sign up. So you go to PhilaOIC.org, and I'll give that to y'all. I want you to write that down. Phila, which is PhilaOIC.org, and that's where you would go in and you would just fill out the application. And literally it's just documentation stating, where you're located, how old you are, what I'm saying, and what your interest is. So once you do that, then automatically Mr. Geron, which is the instructor for the GED classes, will contact you.
Okay, good, gotcha. We have a question here. Like, where are you guys located?
So we're right at 1231 North Broad Street. So we're right off of Broad and Thompson, not too far from Temple. We're literally right. I guess the kids probably would know that where the DTLR, downtown locker room, that sneaker store is right there on the corner of Broad and like near Broad and Girard. So we're not far at all.
Okay.
Right off of Broad Street. Let
me ask you this. So going back to the drone training program, what is the type of jobs I'm eligible or I can apply after getting this beginner license?
Sure. So the type of jobs that you would get, like, how people do, like insurance adjusters go out and they survey houses and stuff like that. You can get a job like that. There's places under some houses that a body can't get to that smaller drones can. So that's how that's why you got to learn precision, because they need people that will learn how to take these drones, get them up under houses, how to take them over top of houses to see what damage is done to a house or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, stuff like that. Jobs in weatherization. So if you're a person, that's assessing the weather, they need somebody to fly the drones to find out what's going on there. They don't always want to put that big drone up there. If they can use smaller drones, to give the bigger drones information, then that's how they feed information to some of the bigger drones, because it costs money to fly those bigger drones up there. Just as well as it costs to put a helicopter in the air. It's so much cheaper to put a smaller drone up in the air to see what's going on. So you can get it in weather, you can get it for traffic, But again, we don't have a lot of people that can do it. So the same people, I'm telling you, these people are about to retire out and more jobs are becoming available.
Yeah. So apart from having a GED, is there any other requirement that they have to meet in order to be eligible?
So let's say somebody was interested in our intro to hospitality class, right? Or culinary, any of the classes. So what you would do is you would fill out the application, like I said, on PhilaOIC.org, right? Once we see your information go into that website, then we're going to contact you. You are going to be required to bring your high school diploma or your GED and a valid ID, a valid picture ID. Okay. Once you come and bring us that stuff, then we're going to make a copy of that. We're going to get you started with some little paperwork just to get some more logistics about yourself. And also you will be required to take a test. The test literally is a 10th grade level test. Okay. So.
And it covers. What does exactly covers the test?
So it covers math, it's verbal, math, comprehension, and then multiple choices, so stuff like that. And it's 10th grade level. So we're going to be talking a little math, couple math problems and stuff like that. You're going to be doing multiplication, addition, subtraction. You're going to be doing multiple choices with which word is spelled right. There, or there, stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, nice. So we have another question, and that's actually one of the ones that I was about to ask you. So let's say I'm from a different country. All the clients NSC serves, they all come from different countries.
Right.
So it happens a lot that they come with their high school diploma from their home country. Is that valid? Would that mean the requirement of the high school diploma or GED?
Yes, so no, we've actually taken high school diplomas from different countries, okay? As long as we can make it out and understand it, and it does say, that it is a high school diploma or what have you. And I know some of them look a little different, so we'll just bring it in here, show it to our bosses and everything. And most of the time, I ain't gonna lie, I've never had nobody turned away for that reason, right?
Okay. And that person will have to translate it first, maybe?
So you can, if that's possible, that would be wonderful. But there have been some cases where it has not been able to get translated. So they've already graduated. We don't want to make them go through, going back into school unnecessarily, because they've already graduated in their hometown or their country, So no, we don't take them backwards. We definitely want to move them forward. So yeah, it hasn't been an issue thus far.
Oh, okay. After graduation, I know you were talking about employment. So do you guys connect all these people who graduate with employers, or it doesn't necessarily happen? It depends.
So that is the idea. So what happens is once a person come in, right, they're being successful in the class, they're doing their resumes, they're doing the mock interviews and everything. The employment specialist, her job is to sit down with them. And so they won't just meet with her at the end of class. No, they'll be meeting with her every week because she's the one that actually helped them with their resumes. Tell them what should be on their resumes, what shouldn't be on there, how things should look, yada, 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 right? And so, so she'll already have a rapport with them, knowing what best fits them. What job best fits them. So what she do is she then go out and she helps to find, who is hiring and for that fit of that person. And we've been really successful. We used to have an 87% job placement rate. Because of COVID, it's been a little down because, if some people are just losing their job.
It's being hard. It's really tough.
Yeah. But we've been really good with job placement and who we place. Now, the thing is, some students, once we place them, respectfully, or shall I say, they're not respectful of the fact that we go out and we build relationships with these people. So let's say something's not working, they just didn't like the employer, they didn't like the times. Instead of coming back here and talking to our employment specialists for them to contact the employer or whatever to see how they can be, like that bridge to help them out, they would just quit. So then we would sometimes lose an employer as somebody that would help our other people get jobs. So yeah, if there's a situation where though there's a, you get a job, you're like, oh yeah, you did the application, you done did the interview, everything went well, and then all of a sudden you get there and you don't like what's going on, let us know. It's okay, let us know. So that way we can talk to the employer instead of you having, like issues with an employer, because guess what? We're not gonna make anybody stay somewhere that's not working for them. Because we want our employer, we want them to be good, and we want our students to be good as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, that's a really good advice about how to keep the job. One of the things that I always talk about this program is not that obviously the process of looking and finding a job is so important, right? Because that's the process that is going to take you and help you to get that job. Right. But once I get hired, that's not the end. That's not the
Absolutely. That's right.
Like the end, just like we see in every movie.
Yes.
When it finishes, it's kind of like a new chapter.
Absolutely.
I mean, based on what you have told me, you kind of like deal with the same situations, just like we do.
Yep,
that
absolutely.
Clients, sometimes they don't know how important that is, like the behavior, what we say, what we
Yes.
talk, the way we communicate,
Yep.
once we get hired, right?
Yep.
And that obviously will come down to my relationship with my employer.
With your employer, that's right.
Yeah. And but then also with the organization or the person who was part of the process of helping me getting placed
Right.
in this new job, right?
Yep, that's right. And it's hard. I'm telling you, trying to help somebody else find employment because you don't know how they're going to act, you know what I mean? But trying to help somebody else find employment, and this is for not for you, of course, Luz, but for everybody that's listening, it is hard for us to try to get you a job, right? So all we can do is set you up for you to go in there and be the best employee that you can be. If it's not working, I promise you, on my job, things have not always been wonderful. Matter of fact, I got to go into a meeting after I finish here, you know what I'm saying? And I got to deal with some things, but the issue is it's not always pretty. But you are not on a job for things to be comfortable or to be pretty. You are there to get a paycheck and make sure that job is done, right? Because we have bills to pay. So in some cases, we have got to be ready and face some crap that we just don't want to face. Not leaving the job, not cussing your boss and stuff out. Like literally, I'm getting ready to go into my boss's office and have a conversation with him because there was a misunderstanding. I don't want tension on my job. I've been here for 8 years. I don't want tension on my job, and he's my new boss. So I don't want tension on my job. So I want to make sure I smooth things out. That's how you do it. Respectfully, you go in, you tell them, hey, this is my issue. You know what I'm saying? Can we fix it? Or you go back to the person that helped you find that employment and say, listen, this is my issue. Now you can come to us and talk trash, but don't go to your job and talk trash.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and even if like there's a point where you see like there's no way you can continue doing this job, that's fine, but you have to make the transition as smooth as possible, right? I mean, there's a protocol, and that's part of the work culture.
Absolutely, right? That's right. And I've come in my office plenty of times. Thank God I got an office. Came to my office plenty of times and wanted to rip my hair off, throw my glasses out. Girl, listen, this ain't mine right here. Girl, I almost pulled it out a couple times. But I love what I do. I love telling people about what Philadelphia OIC has to offer. And guess what? You guys didn't do it to me. It's something that happened here, you know what I mean, internally that might have made me feel that way. So I got to come out and still smile, just like I'm doing. But after I leave you guys, I got to go into a meeting and be serious and be like, okay, so yeah, listen, you got to be your best person, honey, at these jobs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like one of the ways to keep a job and excel and learn, right? Because
that's right.
Regardless what job we have and what industry we work, we just got to give it all and always learn something new, right?
That's right. So
like for that next job, right?
Like, be ready for the next job. That's right.
Yeah, because at the end, like we're living different times and new generations, right? So and now like the newer generations, they tend not to stay in the same job like maybe Absolutely. Our grandparents did, right? Like they stayed in the same job for 40 years and
their resumes have 10 jobs on it. Yes, but listen, so I got one more thing I want to tell you guys about. This may be for you or it may not be for you. It may be for somebody that you know, but I always tell people if you hear something here and it's not for you, share it with somebody that it may benefit, right? So we also have a program called SOAR. SOAR is for anybody who have been in the criminal justice system. They may have gotten arrested at some time in their life. They may be just getting out, maybe they've been out. They've been trying to look for employment. They've been having a hard time getting their foot in the door places. We have a program called SOAR, whereas though we give you a liaison, they get a stipend, we put a little money in their pocket, they get training. If they need to go to the GED, they get GED help. All of the stuff that they would need to try to make them financially stable and get them employment, we have here. Okay, so if you know anybody that's in that situation, we do have a program here for those who have gotten, in some type of trouble in their life. Okay.
Yep. Great, thank you. Thanks for sharing that piece of information too. Another question, do you guys offer or have available any ESL classes?
No, oh my God, I wish we did, because the unfortunate thing is we had to turn quite a few people away because of the language barrier. So we do have resources that we'll send them to, but yeah, we don't have it here. Yeah.
Okay. Any resources that you can share for when it comes to ESL?
Sure, I'll send it over to you because I would have to go into my computer because I just like you,
Okay.
go in and do that Google search and all that good stuff. But definitely, absolutely, I'll definitely send something over to you. Yep.
If one of the people who want to apply to any of these programs is English is not the first language, it's like English placement test that it is required for them to take besides the other test that you mentioned earlier as a
Nope.
requirement.
Nope. See, this is the thing. We get a lot of people with, it seemed like maybe it could be a language barrier, but we can understand them, right? And so they might have a couple words that might be off or whatever, or they can't really say, but we understand them, right? It's not an issue for us. As long as they can understand us enough to do the work, to pass their tests, and to move on to employment, it's not an issue for us. So no, we don't do any special testing in that, you know what I'm saying? You come in and you can understand what we're saying and understand that the words that's on testing or on in the books and everything. Come on, let's join. Yep.
Great. You also mentioned earlier that you guys help with the resume building and cover
Yes.
letter building, I think.
Yep.
But you also mentioned mock interviews. Can you explain to our clients what is a mock interview? What it is about?
So mock interviews is, we know that you guys are going to be going out to do interviews, right? And so we want you to mess up with us. So what we'll do is we sit down and we act like we're employers and you're coming in to meet with us, right? And so what we do is, hi, how are you? So what's your name? So we teach you when you go in, do not extend your hand, you know what I mean, to shake. Because in some nationalities, they don't like to touch other people. Or actually in this COVID time, nobody.
Especially now.
Right, especially now. So
I don't want to shake your hand.
Because people have gotten offended. They'll come back and be like, yeah, I went there and I went to shake their hand and they didn't even shake my hand. So that totally messed the whole, interview up. And we were like, listen, you can't take stuff like that personal. Some people just don't shake hands. It's not in their culture to do it, whatever. So, we teach stuff like that. We teach words to say. We teach you how. So when they say, so tell us about yourself. We teach you what to say. One of the things that I used to teach, I used to be a job coach as well. I used to teach, use your three letters of your word. So mine is IRE, right? So, and sometimes it's crazy. So they were like, use those three letters to say who you are. So I would mess around in the class and be like, hi, my name is Irene. I'm irresistible. I'm very respectful and I'm energetic, but of course you don't want to use those type of words, but use some words. And because that's how you'll remember, like using maybe the first three letters or some of the letters in your name to explain to them who you are. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't think I have heard that before.
You've got, listen, it's the best thing. So that way you won't go, because a lot of them do that, so you won't even get stumped. Well, you know what? I'm very energetic. I love working with people. Like you'll just be able to run it off because it'll be a spiel that's in your head because you're using the letters in your name. So yeah, that's one of the things I used to teach. So you can.
That's a good advice. That's a really good advice.
Yeah. So we teach them stuff like that. Sitting up. Oh, this is a major thing. Now that we're doing a lot of stuff on Zoom, how to set your camera up, we don't want to be looking up at your nose, Hi, how are you? Well, my name's Irene. We want you to make sure that, your camera's set good. Hey, even if you need a virtual background, make sure your virtual background is clean. Like if I was doing an interview, I wouldn't have all this stuff back here, but I'm in my office right now. But
even the clothes you're wearing, right, Irene?
Oh my goodness, the tops you wearing, absolutely. And all like this right here, I would not wear this on an interview, right? I would wear a basic white top, even if you wanted to wear all black blouse, something like that. Nothing busy. This is busy. I was getting cute for y'all though, okay? Stuff like that. That's what we do when we talk about interviews. We want to get you ready to interview so that you won't be scared. I mean, you still have a couple of jitters, but hey, you'll still be ready. So that's what we do with mock interviews.
That's great. Any more general advices that would you like to share with them in terms of how to perform on an interview? Just because we are in the job readiness program, and I mean whatever piece of information, advice you can share is very welcome.
Absolutely. One of the things that you want to do, because I just got finished seeing, I think her name is Samaya, and she's ready to do an application for PetSmart. Girl, I hope you get the job. But one thing you want to do is you want to have a little history about whoever you're going to apply for. You know what I mean? So if you going to apply for PetSmart or whatever, you know, you can just go in and read some stuff about them under Google. You know what I mean? Have a little bit of information. If you're going into somebody's office, you know, because I mean, I know everything is kind of done through Zoom, but
yeah, everything is Zoom.
it is, but there are some people that, hey, meet me in the office, because my daughter had to actually go down to Lincoln Hall Hospital. And I thought she was going to do it on Zoom, but she had to go down to Lincoln Hall Hospital. When you go into some of these places, they got mission statements up on the wall. They got pictures, you know. You want to find out, how's the dress code there? You know what I mean? How's the people? You want to know things about the company. You don't want to go in there blindsided. I just want a job. No, you want to know something about the job that you're going into, because you don't know if you're going to become management or not. You know what I mean? People go into McDonald's not understanding that, yes, you might start out as a crew member right now, but they have educational grants and stuff that they help you get. They help you to rise. And I know people that came from crew member to owner because they stayed in there long enough and they learned what McDonald's stood for. And McDonald's is a great company to work for. Don't sleep on McDonald's now, okay? But you want to look into stuff like that. Jobs that actually have educational stuff, like they'll send you to school, you know what I mean? They'll pay for your, you know, reimburse you or whatever. You want to learn about stuff like that, okay? And when you're going in to meet people, don't be so comfortable like, yeah, yeah, you know, don't talk like that. It's yes. Oh, no, sir, absolutely not. You know, you want to use your big words. You know what I mean? So
like more formal.
Absolutely, be definitely formal. Yeah, you know, listen, some people will say it's kissing butt because y'all younger. Well, kiss a little butt then and get that job, okay? Let me tell you one thing about, I work for the city of Philadelphia, right? And so I went into the interview. Listen, I was on time and everything. The person that was supposed to interview me did not come in there for 4 hours. Now,
oh my God.
I'm not playing. He told, girl, I wanted this job, child. But he told me, he was like, listen, I'm running late. I mean, you know, we can do this another time. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'll stay, because I didn't want nobody else to meet with him before me. Because
exactly.
Child, I got the interview. It was a wonderful interview. Years later, the lady that was helping me at the front desk told me about some socks I had on. She talked about the colored socks I had on. She was like, you know, they were so, yes. So people.
Even the socks, the color of the socks.
Girl, she's like, you know, them socks you had on, girl, that was, I don't even remember what the socks was, but she remembered.
Wow.
So when you walk in, people are watching you from the very, even though she said I was patient, she said I was sitting there reading the plaques on the wall. I'm telling you, this was years later she told me about this. So that's when I learned that people watch you before you even get in the building. Okay. And when you get in the building, they still watching you. If you're a smoker, do not smoke before you come in that building. That mess lingers, it stays on you. They can smell it. If you're a person that, you know, you might have a breath issue, make sure you don't go in there with no gum in your mouth or no mint. Put it in your mouth outside and then come in after you finish with, you know, you want to make sure these things, you know, you're paying attention to. No bright colors, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I would tell you guys.
Well, I have another question about it. What your opinion is as an American in your experience in the American work culture about sharing part of your personal information during a job interview? Do you think that could hurt? In you know, sometimes, and in a lot of cultures, including mine, in the Latino culture, it's very common while you are having a job or while you're in the middle of a job interview to share personal information, not because kind of like clarify things. Like, let's say an example, like there was a gap between my first and my second job. And the reason why that was happening is because, I don't know, I had a surgery or, you know, for whatever reason, I have a 4-month gap between my first job and my second job. So or I don't know, maybe share like you're married or you have kids, and how can that impact sometimes on the interviewer's mind, like, oh, you know, she has a single person versus a mother of 2.
You are absolutely right.
So I would like to hear your opinion, like I said, because of what you do, and also as an American who knows how the American work culture works. What would be your opinion about how much to share, or what tips you can give us about that?
Sure. Do not share your personal information. Let me give you an example, because again, I was a job coach for almost 20 years, and I would talk to employers. First of all, with me being a job coach, I would go out and I would talk to the employers and find out what do they like, what do they want to know, yada, 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 right? So
Yeah.
I went out and I made a relationship with them first. So if anybody got fired or if anybody came in there acting crazy, they liked me. So they didn't have a connection with them. They had a connection with me. So if they fired them, I stayed with that job. I still had a connection with that job. And they still said, you know what, just send me somebody else. Opposed to me just sending people to a job, you know what I mean? And me not having any type of rapport with the job people, right? But do not give your personal information. So some people be like, well, tell me about yourself. Well, my name is Irene and I have 2 children and, you know, I love my kids, you know what I mean? They're in school, they're school age, so, you know, they're taken care of. I don't have to work. First of all, kids are a red flag, okay? Because one thing that employers know is that kids got to go to the doctors. Kids going to have situations at school. Kids are going to have whatever. You got to be a parent. So that's none of their business, whether you are a parent or not. Right? So you never share your information with you being a mother or because they'll once you open that door, they're going to go in. Oh, so how old is your child? Oh, they're 5. So, okay, now you got a little kid. That's more time off, you know what I mean? So yeah, don't ever share that. So when somebody say, tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, my name is Irene Council Grant and I love working with people. So I've been in this field for 17 years, you know what I mean? First of all, you never got fired. You can share that, you know, never got fired, you know what I mean? Because I love what I do, but I chose to move out, like whatever, it's stuff like that. So let's say you do have a gap in your resume, right? So what you can say is, you took some personal time off. You went to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to tell them. You're just trying to get a job. They're just being newsy. So you do not have to tell them that you were sick and you had surgery and, you know, because they're going to be like, okay, well, this person must still need to go to doctor's appointment. Like, they look at all this stuff. Sometimes they look at that as being a liability. So yeah, that type of stuff you never share. If you can explain it in a way that it doesn't tell your personal business, you know, hey, I had a gap in here because I took off because I was, you know, making me, you know, doing something for me. I went to school, you know, to better myself, whatever it was. But listen, don't tell them about no medical situations.
Yeah. Two last questions, and I'll let you
absolutely.
go.
Yes.
When it comes to gaps, because it's something common in our clients, just because I mean they came, you know, they're coming from another country, right? And there was a transition process. Would you suggest to talk about gaps when they ask you, or you think it's better to be proactive and say it before they ask?
Nope, don't say nothing. You only answer the questions that they ask. Because once you open doors, then you got to keep explaining. Then they're going to keep going in. You got to keep explaining that. Then you got to go, yeah, they're going to, if you open that door, they have the right to come in and ask your information. So if they don't ask it, you don't answer it. Okay.
Great.
Okay,
And my last question is salary and benefits. Is it good to ask about salary and benefits? And when, if not, when is a good moment to ask for it? Or just don't ask and wait?
Sure. So with salary or what have you.
I mean, sometimes it's posted on, I mean, you'll be able to find out the job description. Sure. We agree. But sometimes they don't, right?
Right. So a lot of times they don't. Unfortunately, they don't tell you how much it is. If it's good money, guess what? They're going to post it. So most of the time it's just, you know, it might be minimum wage or just above minimum wage or what have you, but no. So
that's what it means when they don't post it, is because the salary is not too competitive. Absolutely. Or the benefits are not too competitive.
Absolutely. Now you can always ask about benefits. Always ask about benefits. Hi, do your job, you know, do you guys provide, because there's 3 questions that you always want to ask. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Why did the last person leave this position? It seemed like this is a really nice place. Find out what happened with that person, right? The next question, is there some type of dress code here? You know, I mean, I see everybody is kind of, you know, dressed down, or, you know, they're really dressed up. So how's your dress code, right? And you can say, and do you have benefits here? You know what I mean? Those are, you know, you always want to ask the benefit question last, right? The financial question, you don't want to ask. But what you can do, just do some research on it. You know what I mean? You can put in how much, like whatever position you apply, like Samaya is applying for PetSmart, right? So she may go in to be a stock person. Girl, you can Google that and it'll say, oh, the wages in between $8.25 and $10. You know, you can Google those things. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have kind of like a range in your mind what they're hiring for. The unfortunate thing, Pennsylvania is so behind. We are still stuck in the minimum wage of $725.
Yeah, I had a conversation with them last week. Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
really bad.
So, what did she say? What did she say?
When I'm applying for the job, they ask me a question, why are you interested in the program?
No, why are you interested in the job?
In the job? Yeah, I
Okay.
think she meant the job. Like, why are you interested in this job?
So
Or why did you
tell
apply
her
for this job?
whatever she's applying for. So it's PetSmart. Say, you know what? Ever since I was younger, I love animals. I love working with animals. So I think this right here is my beginning steps of seeing, exactly how it is to actually deal with animals. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about being a veterinarian. Listen, I don't care if you got to make up some stuff, but you want to say that you had a love for whatever it is. All of the jobs that I went on, I'm telling you, I did research on the jobs, but if you're talking about PetSmart, that's all they deal with is animals. So your answering to that should be, I am interested in this job because I love animals. I have a heart for animals, don't know if I'm gonna be a veterinarian or anything one day, but I just want to be closer to some animals, you know what I'm saying? And I think this job would definitely open that door for me. So we would say, if you're going into McDonald's, or what you say, what
I have to put.
So she must be filling out her application. She's probably filling out her application. But you can
yeah. We can help you with the online application. Yeah. But,
so,
but just going back to the salary, so don't ask about salary. Just try to do your research online. Don't ask about salary.
Absolutely.
And until they come with a job offer.
Yes. And even if you're in a job, right? Like, let's say you're waiting to be seen or whatever. If you are at the job, you can always talk to some of the workers. Hi, how do you like working here? Oh, great, because they'll talk to you, so, that's sometimes, but if it's a Zoom, you're not going to be able to get a chance to really talk to anybody. So just kind of do the research on Google.
Well, and when it comes to salary, let me ask you this, and I promise I'll let you go because we have Grace from Tech Impact, and she's just waiting for us. So what happens? It happens a lot, and especially I have noticed that for small businesses, or small companies and nonprofit organizations, they see it a lot. Mm-hmm. They when they tell you, please submit your application, meaning submit your cover letter, your most updated version of the resume, mm-hmm. and salary requirements. Mm-hmm. And when you go to the job description, there's no salary range. What you should do it in that particular moment? Like, don't put it. Let's just ignore. Just let me attach my resume and my cover letter. I'm going to ignore the salary part, or do it. But because the thing is, and I'm talking about not even as a career coach right now. I'm talking about as an applicant, right? As a job seeker. Sure. As a job seeker, it always makes me uncomfortable because I feel I've been a recruiter in the past. Mm-hmm. So as a recruiter, you're always trying to get that information, because if that applicant shoots for less, great, right? Because I always want to get people to join my company for less money, right? We're talking about being cost effective, right? But getting the best talent you can get. But then you can shoot too high, and you don't know either, so they can disqualify you for for the salary requirements. So what would be your advice on that?
I would Google it. So let's say you're going in to be a front desk assistant, right? So you're going to be working in a lawyer's office. You're going to be doing typing or whatever. So you put in receptionist work at a lawyer's office, right? Or whatever. They're going to give you the salary range. So they're going to give you the lowest range, which is entry level. And then they're going to take you up, because entry level can be $30,000 a year, right? Or it's going to take you up to maybe $50,000, whatever it is, right? So you already know that you would want to put in at least $12 an hour, because if you never had done this before, don't put in no $10. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you're living, you want to put in always at least $1 over. So put in $12.50, put in $13. You know what I'm saying? See what the lowest level of that job is paying. You know what I'm saying? You can just put in 30,000 if you want. You can say 35,000, because they might be paying 33.5, right? If you put in 35,000, guess what they're going to do? Say, okay, well, we can talk. Well, listen, we've seen it, what your salary, your salary requirement is. We have 33.5. Would that work for you? You can say yes, or you can say no. Okay, so yeah, you want to look it up because let me tell you, that's why the internet is wonderful. You can find out what the starting salaries is to all of these jobs. What's the highest you can go on these jobs? So you go right there, and if you are a person that never done it before, then that means you're entry level. So that means you won't don't put in 30,000, you'll put in 32 or 33 and they'll let you know, well, hey, we only have 30,000. And that happened here, right here at Philadelphia OIC to me, right? And so they asked me the same thing. I put in a number. They said, well, we have this. And I ain't gonna lie, I could work with it, so it was fine. Yeah. And then, of course, I climbed every year. I've been here for 8 years now.
Yeah. Well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much, Irene, for all the information about you, Philadelphia OIC, and all the, oh my goodness, it's like the list of training programs that you guys offer is amazing. It's amazing.
Good luck.
I wish I could be 20 again. I didn't have these options back then.
Right. They did not have this stuff when we were coming up.
There are so many options, and like in these options, the most incredible part for me about living in Philadelphia is like there are so many options for free.
It is free
training programs for free, or they provide with financial aid. I think that's the best part of all. That's
and
amazing.
You guys got to be willing to do some research. That's the thing. Everything is hidden in the internet. But
yeah, true.
You got to keep on typing, keep on asking, make phone calls. Then people are going to tell you something else. You know what I mean? So listen, if you really want a good job, you got to keep on searching. In here, we had a guy come here from the Ritz-Carlton, right? He was a regular worker. He worked at a regular hotel. He just by happenstance filled out an application to do the hospitality at the Ritz-Carlton. He'd been there for, I think he said 18 years now. He climbed the ladder. He stayed in there.
Wow.
He hires people, you know what I mean? So yeah, don't go for the lowest jobs. You know what I'm saying? You can apply for other stuff. This man didn't think he was going to get it. He's like, I'm just a janitor. You know what I mean? At that time, that's what they called him. He hospitality worker. Well, he's actually a manager now, but at that time he was called a janitor, you know what I mean, at the regular hotels. And he just happened to see an opening at the Ritz-Carlton, and he just happened to apply and got it. Wow, that can happen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Think little. Go for those bigger jobs. Go for the jobs that's paying a little bit more. You know what I mean? Go for the manager positions. Okay.
Yeah, don't be afraid. And also engage in this type of virtual activities, because this is how we can provide with great information.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you today and meet you. Well, not in person, but because now everything is virtual.
I'm gonna come see you guys as soon as they say we can come.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Irene. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you guys for having me. See y'all.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. And now we're gonna have our second guest.